record temperatures, long lines, and increased scarcity will test Americans' patience this summer. This will be a long, hot summer. It is thought that none of us will soon forget it. As we entered this year, we knew that social tensions would increase as it was the 2020 election year. Many believe this is the most important choice in American history, and I expect it to be extremely shocking surprises as we approach November. Meanwhile, the number of confirmed COVID-19 cases continues to reach new heights, and the restrictions that authorities have launched to combat this outbreak have provoked a major response. Many people have extreme emotions about COVID-19, and unfortunately, it seems that this crisis will not disappear soon. Of course, the civil unrest that emerged after the tragic death of George Floyd took social tensions to a whole new level that we have never seen before. There was a rebellion, looting, and violence across the country, and more chaos could literally explode at any time. Therefore, it will be a great deficiency to say that our national mood is fragile. I never seen such anger and frustration in this country in my life. Tens of millions of Americans have already lost their jobs, and many people cannot pay even their most basic bills at this point. In fact, a recent study found that nearly a third of all Americans did not even pay full housing for July. As the economic fallout from the coronavirus pandemic continues, almost one-third of United States households, 32%, have not made their full housing payments for July yet, according to a survey by Apartment List, an online rental platform. And now, above all, heat is coming. On Sunday, high temperatures were over 100 degrees in western half of the country. Heat alerts are in effect from California to Alabama, as high temperatures will be 10 to 15 degrees above average on Sunday. Las Vegas, Phoenix, and Tucson will all see high temperatures of at least 110 degrees, and all three are likely to tie or break their daily record high temperatures. In Texas, cities including Dallas, San Antonio, and Lubbock will all exceed 100 degrees. Unfortunately, the market is just the beginning. A heat dome has formed in the middle of the country, and this probably means for the next few weeks temperatures of 90 degrees or higher for about 80% of the nation. A perfect storm of crisis is forming across the United States. Above our heads, a heat dome of high pressure could blast 80% of the continental United States with temperatures over 90 degrees for the next few weeks. This coming in a summer when the COVID-19 lockdown has trapped people indoors, many without air conditioning, and mass unemployment may mean that residents with AC units can't afford to run them. Needless to say, this does not come at a good time. Crime rates are definitely rising, and most streets of our big cities already look like war zones. And in this very hot summer, many Americans will have to wait in extremely long queues for some reason. I have recorded a lot of podcasts about the enormous lines we see in food banks across the country, and the lines on the COVID-19 test sites are also extremely extended. Food banks in Vermont and Arizona have miles-long queues for cars. At testing sites in Florida, motorists show up with full gas tanks to keep air conditioning pumping all day. Travel to Europe is off, with America waiting behind other nations to re-enter someday. Even the electronic realm is tied up. Amid 11 unemployment, people applying for benefits report frozen computer screens and abrupt phone disconnections. Sometimes the reward waiting at the end is simply a chance to try again tomorrow. I couldn't imagine waiting for all day to be tested for COVID-19, but there are apparently very desperate people to test their willingness to do so. Above all, a wide variety of products are becoming scarce in our local markets. This is not yet a major national crisis, but you may have noticed that your local brand is much more difficult than normal to keep certain products in stock. This is because COVID-19 and its accompanying economic slowdown pose serious problems for many key supply chains. Tony Koretz is home to Midnight a Minute, and he also a very good man I personally know. A few days ago he received an email from a supply chain analyst for a large market chain, and what this supply chain analyst had to share was very creepy. Below is a short excerpt from this email. The meeting of store demand, which is a proxy for actual consumer demand from company-owned central warehouses, has steadily declined over the last 4 months from a 98% pre-COVID fulfillment rate to 58% as of yesterday. Key point: steady decline. Yes, some blips upward from time to time, but overall steady decline to be sure. What this impacts is the presentation on the shelves. For example, do we have some or no toilet paper, tomato paste, rice and noodles, etc. You will also see new and unknown brands coming in to substitute for a product, but that is only going to be a temporary stopgap, as these are from second and third tier vendors who may not carry as much clout in getting their own raw material supply chains filled. These too will dry up and go away over the next 3 and 6 months, not to mention the effect of absenteeism in their own ranks, leading to an inability to produce said second and third tier products. There is also a trend to see less variations on products. For example, we only have 3 variations on tomato paste to put on shelves as opposed to the 15 we had pre-COVID. To the folks in the industry, this is known as the presentation and the service level at the shelf in the store. Service levels on some harder hit commodities are near 10% at best, averaging in the 70% level on an aggregate across all stores or commodities when you carve out bath tissue, paper towels, baby wipes, disinfectant wipes. Comparatively, during pre-COVID service levels were in the very high 90s for all products, sans seasonal. Additional contributing factors: in addition to vendor fulfillment, we are also seeing more and more absenteeism in our warehouses due to COVID cases, fear, and exhaustion. Of course, none of this information should surprise us, because it is clear that markets have a hard time keeping their shelves in stock. Obtaining such internal information, however, helps us understand exactly why. If you predict the end of this year and the start of next year will be chaotic, you will have the best chance to stock up in the next few months. My suggestion will be to take advantage of this opportunity window. America has entered a period of turmoil, and most of the country will not be able to cope with the major national nightmares ahead. Dear Daily News Report viewers, after watching this video, you can reach the video we shared previously by clicking on the top right button. We recommend watching, subscribing, and sharing. Thanks in advance. Most of the idea, comment, information, and criticism containing in these videos have been created by Daily News Report. Before making any important investment decision, use the information contained in these videos as a starting point for conducting your own research. If you make any investment or legal decision, it is advised to consult an expert before making this decision.